Hey, what's up? Hello, guys. My name is Ashley Zakcheski, and I am a multi-genre author. But today we are going to be going over the Ballad, Songbirds, and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which is the prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy. Now, it is third person, but is told by Cornelius Snow. And at first, I was really interested. I wanted to know all about him, what made him become a villain in the story, and so this is kind of like a villain origin story. Now, I was pretty pumped up whenever I picked this up, and I was a little not even a little, I was a lot let down by the book just because I feel like Suzanne Collins could have done such a better job with it than she did. And unfortunately, I think that if this would have been the first book in the Hunger Games trilogy, that I never would have read the other books. And for me, that's disappointing because I love the Hunger Games trilogy so much that I just want to know what happened when writing this book, because it doesn't even seem like it was her that wrote it. Like, you know how authors have that prose, that voice that you can kind of tell, okay, she wrote it. I cannot tell that at all in this book. It seems like a completely different person wrote this book and then separated Suzanne Collins from the Hunger Games trilogy, and that to me was the most disappointing part about it. Now, there was a very, very, very big lack of sense of urgency or emotion throughout this book, and that again was a letdown for me. I read the first 3 chapters, took it to social media because I wanted to put it down. I did not want to finish it, and that pissed me off because, again, I love the Hunger Games trilogy so much, and I had anticipated this novel for so long that I was upset that I was not enjoying it to the full extent that I could have. And unfortunately, a lot of people said, no, push through, the last 10 chapters are really good, and da da da, whatever. So I continued on through the book, and it did get better, but it still did not do it for me. The last probably 5 or 10 chapters really do reel you in and kind of give you a good feel, but also the ending to me just I didn't care. By the time I was finished with this book, I was so excited about finally being done with it, and not in a good way, because it makes me want to go back and reread the Hunger Games trilogy to fall back in love with Suzanne Collins. But I don't think she did a good job with this book. I don't even feel like she wrote this book, and that is so weird. Such a weird feeling to have, if that makes sense. And so I don't feel like there was any need for this prequel. I think that, of course, she did sell a lot of copies because of the anticipation of it, but I don't think it is going to be as well-renowned as the actual Hunger Games trilogy was. And I don't really know what to say about it. It was really dark towards the end. I do feel like she wrote it to our generation, whereas we are now adults, when 10 years ago, we were young adults. We were reading this book. We loved Hunger Games trilogy. But now here we are 10 years later, we are adults. And so I feel like she really targeted that generation, whereas I would not let a 16-year-old read this book just because it's so dark and twisted that I just don't think it's appropriate. But all in all, I just think that she could have done a lot better, and I think she lost her voice in this book, and it didn't really speak to me at all. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 2 stars out of 5, just because I had to force myself to finish it, and even after that, I feel like I wasted so much time on this book when I could have been reading something that really would have interested me and kept me wanting to read more. Now, if you've read this book, I would love to know what you thought. Did you really, really like it? I mean, obviously, everybody has a different opinion, and everybody is, able to have different perspectives on books. I've seen it millions and millions of times, but I would like to know what you thought of it. Did you finish it? What did you think about it? Did you feel like this was not Suzanne Collins that was writing this book? Because I really feel like even the verbiage, like word choice, is so different than that of the Hunger Games trilogy, if that makes sense. And so it just really threw me off. And I feel like Suzanne Collins did not write this book, or at least she must have changed like her voice, her author voice, because it just did not speak to me in the same way that the Hunger Games trilogy did. Now, obviously, that could just be because I don't particularly like Cornelius Snow, probably like everybody else, and I wasn't really interested in him as a character. And so to have a whole book dedicated to him, I feel like really wasn't the good point to go. I feel like if she would have wrote this book from Haymitch's perspective, I would have 100% probably picked it up and devoured it because I really like him as a character. His arc was good and all of that. So maybe Suzanne Collins will write one about Haymitch. We shall see. Anyway, if you guys read this book, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about it, what you thought about it, and let's discuss this book because, again, everybody was anticipating this book and we all want to know what other people thought. So thank you for coming. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. I post book reviews, writing advice, and also kind of like just stuff that readers like to talk about on my channel. So if you're interested, hit the subscribe button down below. And the next book review video I'm going to do is actually going to be Pistol Daisy by Natalia Lee, because I have been anticipating that one as well. And it's supposed to be really good. It's gotten really good reviews so far and it hasn't even came out yet. All the arcs, people are saying it is amazing. And that book comes out tomorrow, so I'm hoping to devour it over this week and then post a review on that. But that will be an ebook copy and not a physical copy, so it'll be a little bit different. I won't be able to hold it up and flip through it for you. But again, like my video, subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!